We're going to walk through creating an item bank assessment in Mastery Connect. Once again, I am starting in my tracker. That way, when I'm adding the assessment, I know that I'm putting it into the right tracker. Don't have to worry about it. Also, doing it this way will fill in some of the information for you and save you a little bit of time. So I'm on my math tracker for 4th grade. Going to select Add Assessment in the upper right-hand corner. And I'm going to create a new assessment this time. When this page populates, you're going to see the tracker is already filled in. The subject, the core, the class are all filled in already for me. I don't have to do that. It's going to be a formative assessment. That's what you will always use as a teacher. I have to determine whether I want a multi-standard assessment or if I'm just going to assess one standard at a time. I'm going to keep it as multi-standard so I can show some options later on. This is my assessment to delete. Again, we're looking at the privacy. By default, it is shared with the community. You can choose your district, school, or to yourself. If you're going to use something from the Certica item bank, can't really share it with the community because not everybody owns it. So I would say you're going to keep it within your district, your school, or yourself most of the time. In this case, I'm going to choose private to me. Going to choose my assessment source. Now, since I'm doing an item bank assessment, I am really able to choose whether I want to pull items from my personal item bank, the Certica item bank, or I can pull from both. So I'm going to choose first to pull some of my questions that I have personally created. As I look at the questions, I'm going to choose what standard I want from my item bank. You can see I don't have a lot of questions here, but I do have from 4.5D, there are 4 questions that I want to put in there. I once again can click on these to look to see what the question is and then choose whether I want to add it or not. In this case, since I know I created these and they're what I want, I can do a shortcut here and say I'm going to add these 4 to my item bank or to my assessment, and it will put all 4 of them there at one time. Now I also want to add some other questions, but this time I want to use the Certica bank. So I'm going to click back up here on assessment source. I'm going to choose the Certica item bank next. And then I can choose what TEK I want, what standard. I'm going to go with 4.2D just randomly. I'm going to see here there are 170 questions that are available for 4.2D specifically. If I select the drop down, it's going to show me what types of questions there are. So I can see under the Standard Technology Enhanced 64, these are multiple choice questions. I've got an essay-rich question, a short text question. Then I have some matrix questions, match list questions. Depending on your standard, you're going to see numbers varying. There are 32 close association and 51 close text questions. I can look at them all if I want to, or since I've already gotten from some multiple choice, I'm going to come down and I'm going to look at a choice matrix question. By clicking on that specifically, it will only show me the 3 questions that go with that. It'll make it easier for you to filter things out. Complete the choice by matching each number to its value when rounded to the nearest 10. Answers may be used more than once. So see if I like this question. I do like this question. I'm going to add this one. This one I've looked through. No, I could skip to the next one. Here's another option that's very similar to the one that I already had. So I'm only going to do the one. Now I can come back up here again. And this time I'm going to choose match list. I'm going to look at the different questions that I have here again. Match the number to the left to the rounded nearest 100. I like this. It's a drag and drop. I'm going to add this one. I now have 7 questions. I'm going to come down and find a close association one. I have 8 questions. Let me see. Maybe I want to do a close drop down. Now instead of dragging and dropping, they will drop down to find the answer. Okay, I'm going to add this one, and I'm going to add this one. I now have 10 questions. I can see right here that there are 10 items. I can choose to randomize the questions so that the students don't all see them in the same order. Now I need to come down to my scoring. Remember that our district has a 4-area scoring system. There is exceeds mastery, which is 100%. There is mastery, which is an 80% or higher, near mastery, which is 50% or higher, and remediation, which is below a 50. In this case, since this is a multi-standard assessment, I'm not doing out of 10 for the scoring. It breaks it down by each standard. That way, when the data goes back to your tracker, it will be specific to each standard. So with 6 exceeds mastery, they're going to have to get 6 right. Mastery, they're going to have to get 5 because that will give you closest to 80%. Near mastery would be a 3. Okay. With 4 possible, mastery is 4, or exceeds mastery is 4. Mastery, I'm going to put 3, and near mastery, 2. And I'm now ready to create my assessment. It's going to show that it's the assessment to delete is the title. It's broken down into the 2 sections. Since 4.5D is the highest standard that is being used, if I go back to my tracker, that the assessment will be after 4.5D. So if I scroll over to 4.5D, here is my assessment to delete.